A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. Of course her parents don't have a problem with me being black. She's past the wall. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
So you got drunk at a frat party, then fucked the football team? You're not a rape victim, sweetheart.
You're a slut.
What's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of TSR. At Donovan_Sharp is where you guys can find me on Twitter, and if you want to listen to past episodes, you can find the archive on thesharpreality.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and of course right here on YouTube. Within the next few days, you'll also be able to find me on Google Play, so definitely stay tuned for that. You guys can support the show by bookmarking the Amazon link on my homepage and doing all your Amazon shopping through that link, or you can contribute at the bottom of the page via PayPal. If you guys have questions, comments, show ideas, or personal stories you'd like to share, go to the Contact tab on my homepage and drop me your thoughts. And again, guys, be sure to leave a review for the show if you listen on iTunes, and make sure you like the video if you are listening on YouTube. Those who regularly listen to my show know that I don't really have any interest in the way of offering advice to women with regards to how to find and lock down a quality man, lock down a man of value. Well, today I'm going to throw the ladies a little bit of a bone here, and I'm going to do a two-part episode in terms of how to find a good quality man, what to do to lock him down, and subsequently find themselves in a good, strong relationship of consequence long term. Regardless of what women say, every woman's end game at the end of the day is to be in a long-term relationship or a marriage. They can talk all they want to about how they want to sleep around and get it out of their system, but no woman, regardless of how many men a woman is sleeping with, women don't want to be fucking 15 different guys. They only want to be fucking one. They want a relationship with one. Even if a woman is sleeping with 8 different men, there's one man that she really wants to be with. That's the guy that she is pair bonded with. She just keeps the other 7 on the back burner in case things go sideways with the guy she really wants to be with. So what I'm going to do here is, like I said, this is going to be part 1 of a 2-part episode. So today, here in part 1, I am going to tell women, I'm going to teach women, I'm going to let women know what is required to gain a man's trust. The first and foremost, before a woman can really lock down a man, you as women, and men, I'm sure you're listening to this too, so definitely take heed to this particular information. But if you are a woman and you're listening to this and you have a guy that you like, you've vetted him, you know he's a man of high value, etc., first and foremost, if you want to lock him down, you must build ironclad trust. Your man has to trust you in order to lock you down. Now, I understand that women are not going to do these things for just anybody. And just as sort of a preface to this episode, I'm going to go ahead and let you know right now, better than 99% of women who hear this, or better than 99% of women who hear about this particular podcast episode, they're going to laugh at all of this stuff. They're going to say there is absolutely no way that I would ever do this. This guy is off his rocker, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's fine. For the 0.001% of women who know that in this day and age, how necessary it is to take these measures to earn a man's trust, keep listening. Now, getting back to what I was saying, women aren't going to do these things for just anybody. The things that I'm going to lay out for women to do in order to build that ironclad trust with the man that they want to be with long term, they're not going to do this for men that they don't want to be with. All right. At this point, ladies, the guy you're dating, you know he's the real deal. You know he's confident. You know he's masculine. He's not afraid to demand your best. He keeps you in line. You trust his judgment, and you see a real possibility of this man. You see a real possibility of this being a man that you can genuinely love and respect long term. So let's go ahead and get started here. So you've got your guy. You know that you know you want to be with him. You know you see some serious potential with him. So let's go ahead and get started with part 1, building trust. And I've actually got a few things here. I've actually got 8 things here that women should absolutely do to build a man's ironclad trust. And again, I'm going to warn you ladies, and I'm going to warn you guys, this is some extreme shit. But with all of the technology here in 2017, the ease with which women can cheat, the ease with which women can disappear for hours on end, the technology that they use, all of the ways that women can use to cheat and be sluts, this is what's necessary. Number 1, ladies, you must check in every few hours with a picture and a text. And I would advise you to check in even more frequently than that. Your man, in order for your man to trust you, he has to know where you are and what you are doing at all times. I mentioned in a very recent episode, I talked about a woman I was sleeping with who was cheating on her husband. And guys, spare me the moralistic narrative. Oh, you're a dickhead if you fuck wives. Fuck you guys. You guys are listening to the wrong podcast. This isn't some moral high ground type bullshit. If a wife, listen, if she wasn't gonna fuck me, she was gonna fuck somebody else. So you guys can go on with that bullshit. I caught a lot of that with that episode. Anyway, let me not get off track here. So what this woman did to cheat on her husband when she was with me, what she would do is she would preemptively take pictures with a friend of hers wearing a certain outfit. So they would take pictures at a Starbucks or a restaurant or whatever venue they decided to do it at. So when she came to see me, she would have her friend post these pictures on Facebook and tagging her in these pictures. Of course, her husband is friends with both of them. So him seeing these pictures of her in this place wearing the same outfit, he assumes that she is doing what she says she is doing. Well, obviously my dick was in her mouth, and clearly that wasn't the case. Believe it or not, ladies, most men know and understand how slutty and nefarious and sneaky and deceptive you are as women. They might not say it. They might not even have the balls to say it. And listen, if a men of value don't have time to deal with this kind of foolishness, he's not going to require that you check in with him every 30 minutes or every hour. So if you want to show him that you are willing to build that trust, if you want to show him that you are willing to go the extra mile to build that trust in him, to build that trust with him, check in periodically with a picture and a text. So if you're at work, check in with a picture and a text. Hey baby, just got to work. Got a hefty workload. A lot of times what my main chick will do is she'll actually send me her work schedule. She has various meetings every day. So that in essence will let me know, okay, well, if I don't hear from her from 3 to 4, I know that she's in a meeting of some sort. My main chick checks in with me multiple times per day because she wants me to know where she is and what she's doing. She wants there to be no doubt in my mind that she is doing exactly what she says she is doing. If there is any doubt in a man's mind as to your whereabouts and to what you're getting up to, ladies, he's not going to lock you down. He might not say it. He might not call you out on it. But guess what? If you're disappearing for hours at a time, or, oh, my friend is going through a rough patch, I have to go see her tonight, and you disappear for hours on end at night, he's not going to raise a big stink about it. He's just going to next you and find a woman that he can trust. Check in every few hours with a picture and a text when you are not with him. Number 2, and this is going to be extreme, so be ready. Number 2, and this is where I will lose 99.9% of women. Give him access to your phone. Yes, ladies, let your man, your boyfriend, your significant other, the man of high value that you want to be with long term, give him access to your phone. You give him your don't even put a password on your phone. Listen, that's a red flag and a slut tell is if you're dating a chick and she has a password on her phone. If she has a password on her phone, she has something to hide. And women might say, "Well, that's that's my private phone, and he doesn't have a right to that information." No, he doesn't. But he also has the right to dismiss you as a slut if you're constantly hiding shit from him. Listen, most of female infidelity is done on their phone. It's done on Tinder, dating apps, Ashley Madison, texting apps, etc., etc. If you give your man access to your phone, that will alleviate a lot of his doubt as to what you're getting up to. Anytime you are with a man, and ladies, you have to know this. And if you don't, I'm going to let you know. If you are dating a man, if you have a boyfriend or a significant other, and you guys are sitting on the couch and you pull out your phone and you start doing stuff on your phone, he can't prove what you're doing. He can't prove what you're not doing. But if he's a man with red pill awareness, which is the kind of man you want in the first place, he is probably going to assume that based on what he knows about women in 2017, that you're texting somebody. And women might say, well, I could be texting a friend. Yeah, you could also be texting the guy you're fucking that night. Leave no doubt. Give him access to your phone. Listen, if you want to lock down a man of value, you give up all autonomy. If you really want to be with this guy, if he's the only man you want to be with, if you are ready for a long-term relationship with this guy, you'll have no problem giving him access to your phone. That's the end of it. If you're not ready to give him access to your phone, if you don't want to give him your passcode, then you're not ready to be in a relationship with him. There's nothing wrong with that, but that means that you're just not ready. Number 3, and this is a big one. Put a key logger on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or any other device that you have connected to the internet that you regularly have access to. Yes, a key logger. Put a key logger on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer, and give him access to the logs. You want him to... Listen, again, you might think, Donovan, you're off your fucking rocker, I'm out. Hey, you know what? That's fine. No one's saying that you have to do this, but I'm letting you know that if you want to build 100% trust with your man, if you want that, listen, ladies, I'm telling you right now, if a man doesn't trust you, he is not going to lock you down. You have all been in relationships with a man who seemed to be perfect. You guys loved each other, but he's not willing to go that extra step and propose to you or suggest a long-term relationship. You always wonder why. Oh, like what's the missing piece? He doesn't fucking trust you. You're always on your phone. When you're on your phone, you're turning your phone away from him so he can't see what you're getting up to. He has no choice but to assume that you're up to shit that you're not supposed to be doing. Take that doubt out of his mind. Put a key logger on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and your computer so that he can see every single solitary keystroke you are pressing into your devices and give him access to those logs. If he has access to those logs, that brings you one step closer to building that ironclad trust that you need to lock him down. Number 4, we're sticking with the phone. Put a GPS tracker on your phone. And for the record, guys, by the way, a lot of you guys out there might be thinking, okay, Donovan's telling us to do all this shit and this and that. There's no way he's doing that. My hand to the fucking man. My main chick, she checks in. I have access to her phone. She has a key logger on her phone, her tablet, and her laptop. She has a GPS tracker on her phone. I've got Hoverwatch on her phone. I forget the name of the it's called Follow Me with 2 E's. Yes, I know exactly where my woman, or I know exactly where her phone is at all times, and my woman is almost never without her phone. Ladies, put a GPS tracker on your phone. But Donovan, that's just too much access. Then you're not ready to be in a relationship of consequence with a man that you trust, respect, and love for the long haul. That's just it, guys. I can sit here and say, listen, you can tell me if you're the type of woman who's just not ready to settle down, yes, this is all going to sound absolutely fucking crazy. It's going to sound crazy. But if you meet a guy that you know you want to be with long term, you will have no problem doing this. Put a GPS tracker on your phone. Why? So that he knows where you are 24/7. That's all there is to it. I need my privacy. You're not ready. I don't want him knowing where I'm at. Well, why not? Why don't you want him knowing where you're at? What, because you're fucking somebody else, or that you could fuck somebody else? The only reason why women want privacy or want their space or want their freedom is so that they can cheat, is so that they can have the opportunity to cheat. I've said before, women cheat in the margins. They cheat during times where you're unaccounted for. 2.5 hours gone in the afternoon, you're over at Chad Thundercock's house getting fucked in the ass. 2.5 hours at night where your boyfriend or whatever doesn't hear from you, he's going to assume that you're getting fucked by somebody else. At least a man with red pill knowledge is. You put a GPS tracker on your phone and he knows where you are 24/7. Yes, that's it. Yeah, hey, you want to know something? Is this extreme, Donovan? You're goddamn right it's extreme. But you know what? We live in extreme times. And if you're a woman and you really want to be with a man of value, he has to trust you. Men of value are not going to commit long-term to women they do not trust. You must be proactive and put a GPS tracker on your phone, and you should even take it one step further and put a GPS tracker on your car. Again, yes, this is extreme. Yes, this is going to cost money, but for the right man, it is absolutely worth it. Number 5. When you are telling him about your day, avoid talking about interactions with men, especially if you're attractive, because if you are an attractive woman, your man knows that men talk to you because they want to fuck you. Even if you innocently entertain the conversation, you're violating his trust. You can say whatever you want, ladies. This is how it is. This is funny. My girl actually saw a post on Red Pill Women, which is a laughable fucking dumpster fire of a joke / disaster. So this woman is going on about how she was having trouble with some sort of equipment, and she had trouble with equipment like 2 or 3 times. And each time, men just came up to her and helped her with the equipment. And she just went on and on about how it is just like having this privilege is just so nice. It's so nice for men to just come up and help her for no reason at all. That girl's full of shit. She's obviously an attractive woman. And that post, her writing that post, that was nothing more than I'm an attractive woman. I'm an attractive woman, and men want to talk to me. It had nothing to do with the fact that she's thankful that men want to help her. No. She knows each and every one of those guys would stick their cocks down her throat if given half the chance. She knows this. And guess what? If you're an attractive woman and you talk about your daily interactions with him, oh yeah, I talked to my boss again the other day, or I ran into Justin at the coffee shop, he knows that these men want to fuck you. But he's my boss. It's professional. You know what? I dated a woman who fucked her boss. And you guys know of women who have also fucked their bosses. Okay? Like, don't give me that. And it's funny what a lot of attractive women will say when they talk about an interaction with men and they see that you're starting to get uncomfortable with it. Oh, I would never fuck him. He's fat. He's overweight. He's this. He's that. Nah, man. The more reasons they give you as to why they won't fuck him, the more likely it is that she will fuck him. Wait a minute, you talked to Justin again? Oh, you have nothing to worry about. He's 5'6", he's ugly, he's this and that and the other. Yeah, guess what? 6 months later, when you find out she's having an affair, guess what? It's Justin, the ugly guy down at the coffee shop. Oh, I'd never fuck my boss. He's a fat, ugly pig. Oh, really? And then years down the line, when you find out that she fucked her boss, yeah, exactly. Oh, wait a minute, I thought he was fat and ugly. Ladies, when you talk about your day, avoid talking about interactions with men. Your man knows you're attractive, and your man knows that men talk to you because they want to fuck you. That's not something he can control. That's not something you can control. You're an attractive woman. Don't rub it in his face. Because deep down inside, ladies, you attractive women out there who like to tell your boyfriends and husbands about all the men who have come up and talked to you, deep down inside, the reason you do that is because you want to put him on notice. You want him to know, you know what? Other guys want to fuck me. Other guys want to talk to me. And if you don't keep your shit together, I might just fuck Justin down at the coffee shop. I might just fuck my boss. And the reason, and I'm going to make it, and I'm going to put it in your face at every opportunity to let you know that other guys want to fuck me. Newsflash, ladies, you're not helping your cause. Because the things that make a man attractive are not the things that make a woman attractive. Male attention is easy for women, especially attractive women. Female attention is not. It's easy to be a slut. It's hard to be a stud. So while you may find him more attractive when you see other women talking and flirting with him, He's not going to find you more attractive that your boss wants to fuck you. He's not going to find you more attractive if Justin at the coffee shop is always talking to you and trying to fuck you. He knows that's par for the course. He knows that because you're attractive, men who talk to you want to fuck you. Save yourself the trouble, save him the doubt, and avoid talking about interactions with men. That will go a long way in building his trust. Because again, he knows that if you're entertaining these conversations with men on the regular, you're violating his trust. Number 6, only talk to him in public. In other words, when you are out in public with your man, don't make conversation with other men. Well, what if a man talks to me? Don't respond. Well, what if I'm just being polite? Sweetheart, you are not being polite. You are attention whoring. When you make conversation with other men in public while you are with your man, you are disrespecting your man. You are not only violating his trust, you're doing it right in front of him. He will lose all respect and all attraction for you if you do this on the regular. If you're at a restaurant and you have a male waiter, shut the fuck up and let him do the ordering. Well, what if he gets my order wrong? Then you look him in the eye and say, honey, I didn't want my steak medium well. I wanted it well done. And let him handle it. Do not talk to or address men in public with your man. Listen, if you're out and about by yourself, you're obviously not going to be a mute. You're going to have to interact with men in public. This is fine. But if you are with a man of value, if you are with a man with red pill knowledge and awareness, he already has a domineering personality. He is already a control freak. He already handles his business and your business. There is no need for you to be talking to other men while you are in public with your man. Let him handle everything. Defer to him. Let him let him order your food. Let him order your drink. If you're on a plane and you have a male flight attendant, you defer to him. Oh my God, Donovan, this is extreme. Again, I'll say it again. Yes, it is. We live in extreme fucking times. Because by talking to other men in public, I will say it again. You are not only disrespecting him and you're disrespecting him and violating his trust. Because in his mind, he's thinking, well, shit, if she's all chummy and flirty with these dudes when she's with me, what is she doing when she's by herself? Number 7, never, ever suggest going to a bar or a club. I knew a guy, a good friend of mine down in Vegas, whose girlfriend was always asking him, we need to go to a bar or go to a club. And he always told her no, because he knows that bars and clubs, it's one big sausage fest. And she was a decent looking woman. You know how thirsty guys are these days. The minute she sets foot in a bar or club, she's got cocks in her face almost instantaneously. And guess what, guys? The reason she wanted to go to a bar or a club is because she started to get bored. She wanted male attention, but couldn't let him go. She was looking for a branch to swing to. Well, she might have just wanted to go out and have fun. Fuck your bullshit, ladies. You know good and goddamn well that's not what it's for. Women, and it's funny, I did a podcast with Illimitable Man. Definitely visit his site, illimitablemen.com. Follow him on Twitter at illimitableman. We were talking about how girls get together and go to the club. They say, "Oh, we're just here to have fun and dance." No, they're not there to have fun and dance. They're there to get cock. Because you know how to put it to you this way. You think I'm full of shit? All right, check this out. If there were nightclubs where there were no men allowed, do you think women would go to those clubs? Do you think women would ever go to a bar for a girls' night out if there were no men allowed in the bar? Of course not. So if you suggest going to a bar or a club, number 1, you're not ready for a relationship. And number 2, you are telling your man in no uncertain terms that you are looking for his replacement. As we know, once again, that bars and clubs are teeming with thirsty ass motherfuckers. You want to go there because you want the attention. You want to flirt. You want to show your man, just like talking about Justin down at the fucking coffee shop. You want to show your man, hey, look, I'm attractive. Guys want to fuck me, so you better step your game up. Men of value, we don't go for that shit. If I'm ever with a girl and she asks me to go to a bar or club the first time, okay, I'll give her a mulligan. And I'll tell her, fuck no. And if she asks why, and I'll tell her, if she asks me why we're not going to the bar or club, I'm not explaining shit because I said so. If you want to, listen, you can go to the bar or the club if you want, but don't come back here. We're done. Okay, she'll let it go. If she suggests it one more time, I'll tell her yes, and then she's done. The only reason why you want to go to the bar or the club is for male attention. And if you want male attention, you're not going to build a man of values trust. If you absolutely have to go out and let your hair down and dance with my girls, you ain't ready for a relationship. You ain't ready for that. And that's okay. But don't tell me that, well, I really do love him, but I just need my... No, you don't really want to be with the guy. If you want to go to a bar or club, it is for no other reason but to get male attention. That's it. The last and final suggestion, and listen, there are many, many things that you as women can do to build the trust of a man, of a 5%er, a man of value, man with red pill awareness. But these are my top 8. And number 8, and I know we have all heard about this, and this is very important. Never, ever talk about your sexual past. This should, and I know girls are probably, now that's one thing that you girls can get behind. And it's not because you want to build this trust, it's because you don't want him, you want to cover up those slutty tracks. And that's, to be honest with you, that's really one of the reasons. Women who talk about their sexual pasts with men that they like automatically take themselves out of the running for long-term relationship material. Not only were you a slut, you are a proud slut. And women would say, well, what's wrong? So I slept with a few guys. There's nothing wrong with that. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But men of value, 5%ers, aren't going to commit to women who openly talk about their slutty pasts. And here's the thing, a 5%er will never ask you how many guys you slept with. A 5%er is never going to ask you about your sexual past. A 5%er knows you're a slut. A 5%er knows you have fucked. A 5%er knows you have probably fucked close to 100 guys, if not more than that. But if you proactively talk about your sexual past, he's not going to trust you. And it's so funny, like I've dated girls who will tell me how they've cheated. They'll tell me situations they've cheated. And I think to myself, okay, you've told me that you really like me, but you understand that by telling me these things, I've automatically placed you into the fuck buddy category. The same happens with 5%ers. If you talk about your sexual past, you're going to further decrease your value as a woman. And listen, if you've got a bunch of slut tells, you've already got that going against you. Then you want to sit here and talk about this guy that fucked you 6 ways from Sunday, and the first time I ever did anal sex was when I was... No. Oh my God, no. If you want to build a man's trust, do not talk about your sexual past. And if he asks you, you don't tell him. Every once in a while, I guess a 5%er might say, well, how many guys have you fucked? How many guys have you slept with? Do not tell him. I'm telling you right now, don't tell him. It's a fool's errand question. Well, what do I say when he asks me? Tell him I don't want to talk about that. That's in my past, and I don't want to talk about it. And it's funny, girls will say, well, I tell him that anyway. No. You say, well, that's in my past, and you should get past the past. Well, this is after you tell him about the 58 guys you fucked while you were in college. Now you want to break out well, that's in my past, and he shouldn't hold that against me. Ladies, he can't hold something against you that he doesn't know about. He can make all the assumptions in the world. You may have fucked 30 guys, you may have fucked 300 guys, but if you don't tell him, he doesn't know for sure. Do not talk about your sexual past. Women who talk about their sexual pasts are... I could do a whole show on this. Women who openly talk about their sexual pasts to men they are sleeping with automatically take themselves out of the running for long-term relationship material. At least to men of value. Now listen, if the guy's a simp, if he's a beta, if he's thirsty, if he doesn't get pussy, well, hell, it's not going to matter. Hell, he's sticking his dick in you on the regular. He's not going to give a shit one way or another. But men with options, men who can date a bunch of women, men who can fuck pretty girls on the regular, they're not going to stick around. They'll fuck you for as long as you let him fuck you. But at the end of the day, when he starts to distance himself and you say, man, like I put the GPS tracker on my phone. I gave him access to my phone. I only talked to him in public. Yeah, I may have mentioned Justin down at the coffee shop a few times, but that's no big deal. And yeah, we had an open, honest discussion about our sexual histories. Why does it seem that he is distancing himself? I thought he was looking for something serious. Well, the reason he's distancing himself from you is because you talked about your sexual past. I don't care what a guy says, beta males included. No man wants to know about how many guys a woman has fucked. No man wants to know about the time you and your girlfriends had let a whole fraternity or the football team run a train on you in college. No guy wants to know how you did a threesome on a whim when you got drunk at a club. No man wants to know how you gave a guy a blowjob in an alley or you got ass fucked in the parking lot during your lunch break while your boyfriend was waiting on you at work. Guys don't want to know that. They may laugh and chuckle and wink, wink, nudge, nudge with you, but in the back of his mind, he's thinking, okay, this girl is a slut, and I want nothing to do with her but sex. Never talk about your sexual past. So to review, number 1, check in every few hours with a picture or text. I would suggest doing it more frequently than that. Number 2, give him access to your phone. Give him your passcode. Let him scroll through your phone. Let him see all your apps, text messages, phone calls. Number 3, put a keylogger on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, so that he can see what you're typing, who you're typing to. Number 4, put a GPS tracker on your phone so he knows where you are 24/7. Number 4B, I suggest that also putting a GPS tracker on your car, because you could put a GPS tracker on your phone. If you're a woman and you want to cheat, listen, you just get another phone, right? And a 5%er knows that women will go to great extents to cheat, especially if she wants to keep you around. Well, you put a GPS tracker on your car. That makes it very hard for you to cheat. Yes, you could rent a car, and yes, you could have the guy you're fucking come and pick you up. But at that point, you're going through so much trouble to cheat on a guy that you apparently like. It's just not going to be worth it anymore. You'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to come clean and just dump the guy. Number 5, when you are telling him about your day, avoid talking about interactions with men. Don't talk about how you adore your boss and about how he's such a family man. Don't talk about Justin the fucking loser down at the coffee shop. Don't talk about Mike the mechanic who changes your oil and flirts with you. Don't talk to him about stuff like that. You are violating his trust. Number 6, only talk to him in public. Do not make conversation with men in public, even if they attempt to strike up conversation with you. Number 7, never suggest going to a bar or club. And number 8, never talk about your sexual past. Now, if you as a woman aren't ready to do this stuff, like I said, you're not ready to be in a relationship of consequence with a man of value. Men of value know that there are many, many ways that women can get away with cheating. And by making yourself transparent in the ways that I just detailed, you build trust with him. Now, as I said before, ladies, I understand you're not going to give just any man this kind of access to you. High-value men are keenly aware that there are a lot of guys out there faking the funk, pretending to be 5%ers. We call these guys PUAs, pickup artists, etc. So we know there are dudes out there who know all the answers, to the multiple choice test, but they couldn't pass the same test if the answers required an explanation, if you know what I mean. As women, you guys are designed to naturally sniff out this kind of bullshit. Yeah, a guy might, a guy might fool you for a few days. Okay? A guy might trick you into fucking him on a one-night stand because you thought he was something he's not. But it won't be long before you figure out, okay, this dude is just pretending to be an alpha, pretending to be a 5%er. This guy's he's just a loser who read a few books and he fooled me. Shame on me. So I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, ladies, do not subject yourself to this kind of transparency to just any man. You have to make sure you trust his judgment. Okay? You have to make sure that you have to trust that he knows how to handle you and himself. You have to make sure that he really is a high value male. But when that time comes and you know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are dealing with a real man, these are the things you have to do to build his trust. No, ladies, no men, this shouldn't be necessary. But in 2017, it is. And if you want a rock solid relationship with a man that you love and respect, this is what needs to be done. And if you can't bring yourself to do everything on this list, then you're just not ready for a relationship, and you probably never will be. And not just any relationship, a relationship with a man of value. And women would say, well, look, I could get a boyfriend who wouldn't require any of this stuff. Yeah, and guess what? 6 months from now, you'll be cheating on him because he's not a real man. He doesn't demand your best. If it's easy to become if it's easy to become a guy's girlfriend, it's probably not worth it. If you had to work and scrimp and save all summer and buy a car, you're going to value that car a lot more than if your dad just bought it for you. It's the same with alphas and betas. A man you have to work for, you're going to work harder to hold on to than a man who just, okay, I sucked his dick a few times. Now he wants to be my boyfriend. What the fuck? I said before, like I said at the beginning of this episode, most women wouldn't dream of doing any of this stuff. And I wasn't even close to kidding. That's going to do it for this edition of TSR. Visit thesharpreality.com anytime to access all episodes, which can also be found on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. And don't forget to bookmark the Amazon link on our homepage if you want to support the show. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you next time.